Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Gallagher from Raven. You are listening to the Metal Voice. Turn it up!
Guys, the reason why we do the Metal Voice is because we get to talk to whoever we want, whenever we want. And now we got one of our heroes, John Gallagher from Raven.
Raven!
Hello, John. Welcome to...
How is it hanging, as they say?
Welcome to the Metal Voice. Here we go. We hear some very exciting news. A big DVD coming out for Raven lunatics everywhere called A Long Journey. A long, what's it called again?
A Long Day's Journey. And just for, there you go.
Wow. Nice. Rock until you drop.
That's right, product placement for you, right? It's obvious product placement.
It's got interviews with Dirkschneider, Lars Ulrich, Chuck Billy, Chris Jericho, Dave Elson, Martin Popoff, me mother, everybody. They're all on there. And I'll let you see a bit of the inside for giggles.
All right.
There you go.
The unveiling of the DVD. Look at that. Oh, look at that.
That's
nice.
A cool shot from Bolivia. It was a statue which is 3 inches taller than the one they have in Rio de Janeiro, so they're very proud of that for God knows why.
Every inch counts,
they
right?
bought the booklets.
Wow.
Tour posters and tickets and
backstage passes.
It's a big deal. We've been working on this off and on for about a year. And my brother's basically, it's all his fault. He's the one that literally locked himself up and turned the phone off, for which I was very pissed off of him about, and literally, put it together and found, it's the first project like this he's ever done. We found out that dealing with, 10 or 15 video formats is a complete nightmare.
Right,
Yes.
If I mention QuickTime to him, he wants to kill me.
It's your brother Mark, right?
Yeah. So there was obviously a lot of stuff converted from VHS, and then people were sending interviews and stuff in. They were all in completely different formats, and whatever. But it's a good, like a historical overlook of pretty much everything we've done, and it's not really a documentary. It's more like it's more like a present to the fans. There's a whole bunch of unreleased footage.
Okay.
A lot of really silly stuff, a lot of cool live stuff. So it's a lot of the documentaries are out. They're all talk. This is a lot of music.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what people want to see. A lot of us jumping around, smashing shit up. So there you go.
Okay. You guys still smash the shit up?
Of course. Why not?
It gets expensive at one point, doesn't it?
We have nobody now. What's the difference?
So where did you get this footage from? Is it fan film footage? Was it TV specials?
Some of it isn't. The oldest stuff on is from '82, which was fan footage from, I believe, Gallagher in Holland.
Okay.
And some of that's floating around on the internet, but we got the whole deal. And it's like Transmissions from Venus, but it's still pretty cool. It's the Wiped Out tour, so we're doing Time to the Airways,
right?
Bring the Hammer Down, stuff like that. So that's pretty happening. And then we got footage from Chicago in 1983, which was actually that was the Kill 'Em All for One tour with Metallica opening up for us, and their footage was on the Cliff 'Em All video. So this is from that show.
Good.
And the only cool thing about that is our tour manager was actually calling the video shots on that, so the cameras are actually, on the right guys at the right time.
Oh. Is Rob Hunter interviewed on that? Is he still in touch with Wacko?
I'm in touch with him off and on, but this is really, he's been out the band for 27 years.
Yeah.
There's been occasion where, he's been asked to do odds and ends, and it's not really his thing, so it's like, fine. So this is basically, it's from our perspective.
Right. All for One, that was, the pinnacle to coming over here. You got the Michael Wagner producing, great production. And, Johnny Zazula and Marsha, independent labels. And like you said, successful tours, you really make your name. And then you signed a big label and we get Stay Hard which was a bit of a letdown, I think, for the fans. So you want to talk a bit about that period, or?
I still think Stay Hard's a good album. The album, to me, which I could imagine people think it was a letdown, because it's not really in the same vein as the other albums, is The Pack Is Back.
The Pack Is Back.
Because it's very slick, and the way it was recorded, it took forever. It was done to a click track. There was lots of layers of guitars, and of course all the clean, clinky ones ended up coming to the fore. Stay Hard doesn't sound as powerful or as good as All For One, but the songs are just as good. And we loved the hell out of playing, like Stay Hard, Going Gets Tough, Extract the Action.
On and On.
It's commercial, but it's a great song, and it really sums up what the band's about. It's got that heavy edge, it's got a commercial edge. So it kicks your ass, but you can whistle it while you're getting your ass kicked.
I think what happened was after Stay Hard, the image took over the music in a sense, right? And it was probably not only Raven, but it was everyone at the time.
We were, young, naive guys. We're over here, and you're basically living out of somebody else's pockets. And so, well, if you do A, B, C, you'll get a D.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to.
Oh, there's the wife. She's walking around.
It just went dark there. So these things happen, and it's not just to us. You look at all. We just got the prime example. We get beat up over it, but Saxon.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. We spoke to Biff about that as well. He said the same thing, right?
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Turbo. Oh yeah, they got the red leather.
To me, Turbo wasn't the big letdown for me with Judas Priest. It was Point of Entry.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was awful.
Yeah.
And say, what is this?
Yeah.
They put out, British Steel, and then they put out Point of Entry.
Yeah. That's what happens when the record companies, dig their teeth.
Because unfortunately it's the music business, and the more it goes on, there's more business than music, and they're not happy bedfellows most of the time.
Right.
It doesn't mesh with art.
So okay, here you are. You're a young band. You start off in the late '70s. You build up a cult following, and then you have a little bit of commercial success with On and On. Right, that probably was your biggest single. And then The Pack Is Back. Times are changing. Glam rock is really, and I wouldn't say glam rock, but I'd say hair metal's really coming in the forefront. Then grunge happens, right? And all the heavy metal bands who once had record contracts find themselves without record contracts because now the whole industry is shifting towards alternative rock, right? So then you become sort of underground, right? And how were those lean years of I guess we'll call it the grunge years?
Well, when we started, it was underground because the punk thing, that's the nature of the business. It's cyclical like that. Nobody wanted to listen to heavy metal, and then all of a sudden, the new wave of British heavy metal. Well, all those bands that were there didn't just, grow out of the ground in 5 seconds. They'd been earning their keep and learning their trade for 4 or 5 years. And all of a sudden, because they were doing it because they loved it.
Right.
They weren't doing it to be rich and famous or to get chicks or to get drugs. They were doing it because they loved to play the music.
For sure.
So a new wave of bands came out from Seattle who were doing it because they loved to play the music.
Yeah.
I love those bands. Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. Thought it was great. Breath of fresh air. Why not? Would you rather listen to that or Warrant?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what it boiled down to, exactly.
You get it polished so much that there's no balls anymore, and it falls down and something new comes up. Right. So all the metal bands went underground. And like you said just before that, the bands were either you're going to lean glam or you're going to lean towards death metal.
Yeah.
Right.
To me, leaning towards death metal was never really an option because it's not my thing. I could go on forever about how I don't like it, but it's just not my thing.
Right.
I prefer music that's got melody.
Yeah. And your voice,
the only other music I know that's got no melody is rap.
Yeah.
And I love that just as much as I love death metal.
and let's face it, your voice is more of Rob Halford than Cookie Monster.
It would be a crime with a voice like yours to sing death metal.
Of course.
I want cookie. I want cookie.
So we went underground. We nothing was happening in the States. We ended up touring Europe with Creator and hooking up with their management, and that was great. And we did a record over there, Architect of Fear, and toured for the next couple of years through Europe.
Yeah, and
I'm holding up this Paul Di'Anno and Killers South American Assault CD live.
That's a special part of South America. It's called 247 West 27th Street in Manhattan, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you hook up with Paul Di'Anno? I guess this was it says summer of 1993.
So this is way before the thing with Mark. What had happened is we toured with Architect of Fear and toured with Heads Up in Europe. Came back, and a friend of ours, a good friend called Arnie Goodman, who's owned a huge record store in Brooklyn and was managing bands. He was managing Paul. He said, hey, Paul's doing showcases to try and get a new deal. I've got a band here. We need a bass player. Can you help out for a couple of weeks? I'm like, yeah, sure. Paul owes me some money. Give me some money. Paul put his hand in my wallet back in 1980 and stole all the money out of my coat. So we had to borrow money to get back from London once. At least that's who I'm accusing of it. Anyway, so it was like a little bit of karma. Great, I get to play Iron Maiden songs and have a bunch of fun. And Steve Hopgood was playing drums.
Yeah.
Cliff Evans from Tank playing guitar. Great guys. And we played showcases, basically telling record company people that these were new songs and they were Iron Maiden and Battlezone songs, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And at one point they brought in a truck and recorded it live and put crowd on afterwards and called it the South American Assault.
Okay. That was just...
I bought this album in 1993 as I walked into the record store and I go, hey, wow, look, John Gallagher's on this. South American Assault, wow, sounds like a great CD. And then you hear about it or read about it on the internet and you're going, wait a second, what's going on here? Wait a second.
I think the idea was they were going to tour South America, so they wanted something to promote it either before, during, or after. But it was recorded live because there was no mixing. It was straight to 2-track. So
just not in South America.
Well, they did. Wasn't in South America, and that's not a real audience. So I don't know where they got that audience from because it's a horrible loop tape. But some of the versions of the songs are really good on there. It's pretty cool.
How about Anvil?
Yeah. People are put on that album. I know that.
I know that you were in their documentary. I mean, for
we saw you in the back.
Second, or
yeah, I'm sitting in the crowd with my wife, and Mark's actually the best man for Ivan there.
Yeah, the camera pans. I'm sitting there going, "That's John Gallagher." There's Mark, his best man. So
is Anvil being interviewed in your documentary? Are they in part of it, or is Paul Di'Anno part of it?
We have lips.
You have lips in there?
Bit of lips in there somewhere, yeah. I think we do.
We can't go one show without mentioning Anvil. So there, we got Anvil in today for this.
This edition. Product placement.
You got the boys in there. That's good.
Are you good friends with Lips?
Yes, we are. We're good friends with the guys. We have been ever since '82.
Okay. Well, we're supposed to do an interview with Lips, so tell him, hurry up, please.
I'll tell him to get his ass into gear.
What would you want to say, Alan?
Now you got a few festival dates coming up. What's next on the agenda for Raven?
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks we're going over to Germany. Got a couple of dates around the festival. We're playing Bang Your Head, which is a big festival in the south of Germany. Right. With, I know Accept's playing it. Andy Sneap's band Hell, they're playing it. So there's a bunch of people we know there. That's a great festival to play. It's a great hangout. And it's in a really nice part of the country. So we're looking forward to that. We're playing around it in Austria, Switzerland, and Munich.
Right.
Okay.
And then, following all that, we are getting our asses in gear, doing some writing, and then we're going out on the road in North America.
Yes, that's what we wanted to hear.
We'll be coming to Montreal.
Yeah.
So that's September. We're taking Empire of Evil.
Yes.
Our friends of ours, Tony Dolan and Jeff Mandis from Venom.
Yeah.
Okay. State band, a very cool band, very good people. We're taking them out. We're doing the whole East Coast deal, and then once we finish that, we're bumping over to the West Coast, and we're going out with Diamond Head.
Oh, wow.
Diamond Head.
Diamond Head was just here a couple of months ago, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're playing with those guys. So real good guys, good band, and we're doing the whole West Coast all the way down through into Texas and Florida and what have you. And so we've got that, and then we're going to Europe with Girls' School opening for us,
Wow.
which will be awesome. And then we've got all kinds of stuff we're working on for next year, like going to Australia and going back to South America.
Nice. South American Assault.
That's right. South America a pepper.
And this next album, though, you guys really set the bar pretty high with Walk Through Fire. I mean, Jim and I said that was the comeback album of the year. I mean, that's a very strong album. So what are you foreseeing for this next one? I mean, the bar is high.
Well, that's the thing. The bar is high. It's very difficult. So we basically just said, fuck it. We're going to do a whole bunch of cover tunes by South American Assault.
Raven covers Sepultura.
Yeah. One shovel at a time. No. We got a whole bunch of songs written. We're still working on new ones. We always record the same way. It's basically all three of us playing together, and then we'll add, bits of this and bits of that. But we took more time.
Yeah.
We just said, okay, we're done. Walk away from it. Reflect. Check back. Let's take this out. Let's change this. And just got it the way we wanted it.
John.
As opposed to get in the studio, you got 2 weeks, it's done, you're out on the road, see you, that's it.
Yeah. John, your voice. Okay. Now let's go through the history of your voice here. Well, how old are you?
94.
Well,
Oh, shit. 110.
now,
What am I now? In October, I will be 55.
55.
Right.
Look at that. I mean, your voice sounds better, I think, on the last album. Not to say you didn't sound great on the older albums, but your voice is getting better with age. Actually, I think you're singing a little higher, a little more clear, and I think you've got more control of your voice than you ever had.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely got more control in my voice. I know that. Top end, it's a function of getting older. You're going to lose a couple of notes. There's a couple of notes, to be honest, I can only do certain days. So, it's just one of those things. You've either got it or you don't. If I'm fit and I don't drink, I don't smoke, try to get enough sleep. Those are the factors that keep you in the ball game with singing.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky. I've got 99% of the range I had when I was 21.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's great,
And, I mean, especially
You guys wouldn't tell. I know, but I can work around it.
Tricks of the trade.
Well, let's just go quickly through your older albums.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, we recently interviewed Udo Dirkschneider, and we brought up the famous Break the Chain session.
Udo, my name. What can I say? What can I say? Did he say what can I say? Because he says that all the time.
No, he talked about how after a few pints, he decided to record "Born to Be Wild," and it was a great time. So, any memories from the Double Trouble team?
Yeah, I remember Udo. He drank about half a bottle of Chivas Regal before he did that. It was interesting because he sung in the control room live with a SM58 mic, like a stage mic, instead of being with the headphones and all this. Just in the room with the monitors cranked.
1, 2, 3, there we go. We are ready now. 1, 2, 3, go.
And then he was drunk and he's sitting on the floor. He looked at us. He couldn't speak a lot of English, but he's sitting there going, I wake up, it's the morning, and the sun begins to shine. Entranced by the Scorpions.
Right, exactly.
So that's burned into my brain. He drunk off his ass singing the Scorpions. So that was so funny.
So you know what? Let's bring it all back to the DVD. Let's wrap it up on the DVD. All right. So show us the DVD once again, John. There it is. Look at that. Look at that.
So when's the release date? When's it coming out?
That's interesting because I know that for some reason they just put the release back in Europe to July 15th. It was initially coming out here July 2nd.
Okay.
So let's say first, second week of July.
Okay.
Yeah. I know they've already putting it up on Amazon and what have you in the States. I believe they've got it for July 15th. Yeah.
There you go.
Available in Canada, I'm assuming?
Certainly.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
And okay, so other good news, we got an Eastern U.S. East Coast tour coming in September. West Coast for Raven fans everywhere. You got to go out there and see them. Live band like this, you'll never see again. I mean, Raven's one of a kind.
We got his DVD coming out. We have a new album potentially coming out in September, October, correct?
That's right. It's called Gimme Your Shorts.
Okay. We have Pickup Walk Through Fire, if you like. Probably one of the best, albums Raven has, Walk Through Fire, at least in my opinion.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. It's going to be great. This guy here is our present to you guys. It's priced very nicely.
Oh.
And there's a lot of really cool stuff on it. I think, if you're a Raven fan, you're going to love it. Definitely.
All right. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, guys. Continue to rock on.
All right. Play a little song. Get us out of there.
Yeah, we have a little outro here.
A little outro.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, just remember to wear your shorts on your head. Keep rocking. This is John from Raven. And stay